Hi, welcome to Colleagues Getting Coffee. My name's Annelies James, and today I am joined by the fabulous, tremendous, beautiful, organic and authentic. Organic, like she's an apple.
Yeah, I was going to say no pesticides here. And again.
Okay. Hi, welcome to Colleagues Getting Coffee. My name's Annelies James, and today I am joined by organic. Did you know I was going to do it?
Yeah, you can tell me. I was like,
I can't wait to say it.
She's organic.
Hi, welcome to Colleagues Getting Coffee. My name is Annelies James, and today I'm joined with the fabulous, very impactful Meg Carter.
Thank you very much. Very impactful.
Boom.
That's straight out of the gate.
You're like a sucker punch for place.
Love it. Oh, well, great. Love that.
Yeah,
yeah.
You can have that branding free.
Can I? Yeah.
Free
Is that my new motto?
That's it.
How exciting.
So for me, you're actually massively about place and partnership and all those things. That's how I see you in my brain.
Love that.
But you actually work at Atkins Realis.
Yes.
What do you actually do there?
So my role in Atkins Realis is really interesting, and it's a real privilege to have sort of the role that I do. I'm able to kind of talk to local authorities, things like that. When I joined the private sector, the whole idea was that I really wanted to, one, understand the private sector. We'd worked a lot with them in local government, and I wanted to understand sort of how they worked. And now my role is a lot around kind of educating the private sector about local government, trying to educate local government about the private sector, break down some barriers between the two. And the bread and butter is programme management for local authorities, and a lot of that revolves around place, but some other bits as well. But yeah, it's a real honour to be able to kind of talk to both sides. I love it.
She plays both sides of the field. She's like public, private.
I feel like the two have got to learn like more about each other.
Holding hands.
Yeah, it's
the whole
amazing.
thing.
I go into these situations and I think, oh, why don't we know this? Like, it's just good old-fashioned communication. But and the public sector, you know, is going through so much change. I feel like being able to educate the private sector on kind of what that change means, and also to be an advocate for local government. Like, I feel like they have a really tough gig, and sometimes we just need to give them a bit of a break and understand what they're going through. But it's like anything, right? You understand what someone's going through, you can deal with it better.
Oh,
so
100%.
I think it's like back to basics for both sectors. So yeah, so I get to kind of do a bit of that. I have a really fantastic team. I do lots of sort of programme projecty stuff, and then I do crash courses in local government and what it all means, and those are really fun. And yeah, so I get to sort of do passion for local government and then delivery.
I love this. It kind of reminds me of like when I started working in the apprenticeship sector, and all of the acronyms and all of the things I had to learn, and it was almost like a whole period of translation.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. That's
not
exactly
only words and language, but how the processes work and why things take so long.
Yeah,
and
it's just, I think it's like back to basics as well, to be able to have a safe space to be like, I just don't understand that. And why would you necessarily? You know, to go and I think it's nice to be able to be that translator role.
So I love this translator. We need something in that.
Fine. Add that into my motto.
The gut
sucker punch place.
Yes,
yeah.
But you know, also the translator between
public, private.
Worlds. Yeah.
2 worlds. Yeah.
I'm obsessed. 2 worlds. And this is how it goes. I remember last year we went to UK Reef, and I just loved that you closed the time with this speech all about place.
I did, yeah.
Can you remember any of it? Can you do it? Go.
And ta-da. I can't remember it that well, because it was so from the heart, Annelies.
It was from the heart.
So from the heart. I did a sort of like what place. So I wasn't born in Hampshire and the Solent. I was relatively new as a resident of Hampshire and the Solent, but the region kind of scooped me up at a time where I think when you're looking to a place to become a home and to become your place, Hampshire and the Solent did that, and I sort of listed all the things in my life that had happened in the region, you know, getting married here, and my friends have been married here, and I've learned to do things here and paddleboarded and gone just, you know, tandem biking and whatever it might be. Like, so much has happened that has brought joy to my life here. So I did a spiel on that, and then I wove in some Jane Austen and some Shakespeare. I thought it was a really
you were
good
like,
speech,
even I thought it was.
Yeah, that felt like a mic drop moment at the end.
It was so good.
That was so good
because it was super relatable. Because everyone else was like, oh my god, I've done that too, and oh yeah, I've been there too. Like it really brought everybody in.
And it was so nice to like tie in Jane Austen. It was the 250th anniversary, wasn't it? So it was really nice to like tie that in. And yeah, it was an honour to be able to. I've never done something where you can really talk about your experience and your experience of place. And I spend a lot of time talking about other people's places and how I think like people can get involved in place, but it was really nice to be able to talk about like my place and
your experience of place,
what that meant to me.
Yeah, I love that.
It was a real honour.
So why do you think then, obviously place is becoming a thing for you? Like, why is it so important?
So I mean, I've worked in local government looking at big regeneration schemes, and sort of that became the sort of professional thing, I guess, around place. But now I suppose I do a lot of work trying to get the private sector to kind of help the public sector enable place. And I think the private sector understanding that place for local government is like a legacy. It's for grandchildren, it's for great-grandchildren, it's for great-great-grandchildren. And I think when developers and people are going into places, that's how they need to be thinking about what that means to a local authority. People kind of come in and sort of say, oh, you know, we're going to do this. And it's like, that's got to last generations. It's a legacy. It's a fabric of that place that, you know, in 20, 30, 40, 50 years' time will be that thing that scoops that individual up and makes them part of the place. So I think it's, for local government, development and place is so different. But I think, yeah, place has become, I mean, everyone is talking about it. So I think we've got to be a bit careful that it doesn't become just like a buzzword. It actually becomes genuine delivery. And I think we're really lucky in the region because with the changes we're going through in terms of devolution, like we should have a mayor that can kind of champion place and unlock that. And a lot of my work ties into that around what that authority can look like and how it can help drive growth and really help enable place. And we have to be okay with the fact that delivering a great place helps fund people's services. You know, being able to invest in the right places unlocks the growth that can then help fund the most vulnerable in our community, and that's where we need to sort of start going with it. So I think it's place, but it's not about, you know, landscaping strategies and kind of architectural build and master planning. It's about genuinely what that means on the ground, I think. I'd like to hope that's what
I really love this because I actually work quite heavily with Daedalus Waterfront.
Yeah.
Sort of doing marketing and capturing, actually part of their thing is legacy.
Yeah.
Capturing heritage stories and archiving things.
Yeah.
And I love their commitment to, this is something we're coming in to do now, and it is maybe disruptive because there's lots of noise and they'll be moving things and chopping down trees and things that are going to happen, much unsettling, but they're looking at the long term. Yeah. You're going to have beautiful green space, you're going to have places that you can picnic, you're going to have new trees, like, and all of that long term legacy and taking those old stories with it. And I think it's really, really important.
And you're like a lush example of like Little Miss Queen of Gosport. Like, I love
thanks.
this. Like, you've moved to the area, you've really made it your place, you know. Gospel ambassadors, you know, I started that a few years ago and you got involved, and it's just like grown and grown and grown, and the community's really bought into it and you're really bought into it, and it's lovely to see like you have been brought into a place and what you've done with that place, and now you work in that place, and even though something disruptive is happening in your place, you can see the benefits and what it's going to bring in that legacy piece. So you're like an embodiment of what a good place should kind of look like.
Well, also, I've lived all over the place. So I wasn't born around here. I was born in the South Coast in Chichester, grew up in Cardiff, I've lived in Toronto, and now I'm here. Yeah. And I choose this place.
Yeah, which is a really powerful thing, because we've got to remember a lot of people's place isn't positive. You know, some people, for place where they are, it's just not where they want to be, or it can be a real trauma, because place can be a really negative thing. So I think if you've had that ability to choose, that's a really powerful message.
You mentioned devolution, and obviously there's loads.
I'm obsessed with that, by the way. 100%.
When the people started saying it, I was like, what is this casual word? Like, and everyone now mentions it all the time. I'm like,
yeah, I'm obsessed.
Devolved.
Yes. All about devolved. All about devolved, yes.
So give us as you're a translator.
I am your translator, yes.
Give us a crash course in what is this and what's this mayor stuff, like what is it?
Yeah, so there's two key work streams kind of happening in local government, both of which have become like really key buzzwords. Everyone's talking about it. So that's local government reorganisation and devolution. The two are not the same thing. That's the first thing for your lovely listeners that I would
Two separate things.
Two separate work streams, people, always on the same panels, always talked about as the same thing, really are so totally different.
Okay.
So LGR is about fundamentally changing the structures of local government. Some places have been through it.
So that's local government restructure.
Reorganisation.
LGR. Okay.
LGR.
Right. Yeah.
So that is about fundamentally changing the structures of local government. It's about taking, at the moment, there's kind of lots of different little ones, and it's about about bringing them together into a bigger authority.
So this is where like Gosport and Portsmouth and Havant and Fareham are all going to be...
One authority as a unitary authority.
Right.
So the districts and the boroughs go. So at the moment, Hampshire and the Solent has got 15 authorities as part of it. You'll go down to 5. Now, a lot of places in the country have been through that journey. Dorset, BCP, the Wiltshires, Somersets, they've done this. They've gone through that, if we think about sort of our neighbours. And then there's a lot of places that have gone through, you know, getting their combined authority and getting a mayor, and the structures of local government has changed. But that's what local government reorganisation is about changing the structures.
These examples you've given, has it gone well?
Yeah, so the whole idea of it is it's meant to be able to streamline services.
Okay.
So if like your bin, for example, is the most common example of like there's so many different authorities that have a touch point with just the emptying of your bin.
Oh, wow.
So if you can like streamline services, does it make it more efficient and effective? Mm-hmm. I think my only challenge to all of the authorities that have been through it is if they'd had more funding to look at change management programmes and to be able to kind of embed the behaviours, would they have done things differently? Because it can take a long time and authorities don't really have the money invested in them to kind of really do change management properly. Mm-hmm. So I think they all would have welcomed that. But actually authorities have found their way and they have been able to do things. So yeah, I would say that it has been delivered and the services are working, but there could have been more an investment around change and supporting.
Some tweakments could have been made.
100%.
Okay, right. So that's
local government reorganisation. LGR, boom.
Okay.
That is totally different for devolution.
What is devolution?
Devolution.
I thought they were the same thing.
Yeah, see? I need to find these people that think they're the same and catch them out.
Me.
No, you're absolutely right. So devolution is about transferring powers from Westminster to a region, and the way they do that is through a mayor. That's it.
I definitely thought this was all part of the same thing. Okay.
Totally different. Yeah. Our region in Hampshire and the Solent happens to be going through both at the same time.
Right.
But there's a lot of regions that aren't. Some regions have done LGR, some regions have done Devo, some have done a bit of both, none of the other. So it's all a real mixed picture. But for us at the moment, we're going through both. So all devolution is about the transferring of powers from Westminster to a region, and they do that through the body of a mayor.
And the mayor then represents this whole cluster of stuff.
So the 5 authorities within Hampshire and the Solent, or if it was 15, however many authorities within Hampshire and the Solent, they are represented by that mayor.
So if we're going to be with Portsmouth and Havant and Fareham, the other Southampton and...
Yeah, you've got Southampton, Eastleigh, and then a bit of the New Forest waterfront is kind of what that's looking like.
The mayor is not overseeing both of them, or is?
No, yeah, the mayor oversees all of it.
Oh.
So, for example, like Andy Burnham is kind of the old school mayors. These are the mayors that have like really found their feet. So Manchester, there's 5 authorities that sit within Manchester, although they're smaller sort of city authorities, and Andy Burnham is the top of that authority. He's that mayor that represents all of those areas. So what's different with us is obviously this is an enormous region. So for a mayor to represent all of it is huge, but that will be the role of that mayor. So, you know, Bristol has a mayor, they have WECA, the West of England Combined Authority, so that's one big authority that sits over Bath, Bristol, North East Somerset, you know, they sort of sit over numerous authorities.
So we're quite lucky because we do know quite a few of the people who want to be the mayor, don't we?
We do, yeah, we do.
And I think, actually, all of those people who I am aware of are brilliant.
Yeah, I think it's amazing because the beauty of a mayor, right, is that they're like that champion of place, and they're kind of, you know, they're meant to be the ones that can fight for us as a region and kind of unlock some of the big stuff to help people in the region. That's what a mayor's there for. And it's wicked, actually, that we've got 4 that we know and that are, you know, I would say all champions of the region in their own kind of way. And, you know, happily, like any of them, I think they're meant to transcend politics, mayors. They're meant to be able to kind of move above the pettiness of politics. Almost it'd be nice if the mayor was never an elected. It was just someone that was just like a genuine, like...
local champion.
But actually, we know all our mayoral candidates. They've all been around. They've been a part of, you know, our lives in the region for a long time, and they all bring their own real merits to the role. I think it would be really interesting to see who gets it in the end. Absolutely. But they are all definitely Hampshire and the Solent like champions, aren't they? Right?
It's 100%. But I kind of also love that it's like, who will it be?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how does that happen?
So you'll elect them. So
right.
Mayors have a bigger electoral basis than any other local politician. So the whole region, every resident in Hampshire and the Solent will be able to vote for the mayor.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
So, right, okay. Because, like Lorna, for example.
Yeah, Lorna Filtner, Labour candidate.
Very in the Southampton region.
Yeah.
So how would she necessarily get buy-in from Portsmouth?
Well, that's what
and
they have
further
to.
afield?
Yeah, that's what they have to
How
campaign
interesting.
for. Yeah, that's what they have to campaign for. They all do. So obviously, they all, Martin Todd, Lib Dem candidate, is currently leader of Winchester. You've got Lorna, who's obviously come from Southampton. You've got Donna, who's Conservative candidate, acting for she currently is OPCC, so she's the Police and Crime Commissioner. So she has a bigger
That's
electoral
broader,
basis.
isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But she's ex-Portsmouth leader.
Right.
And then you've got Anna, who is the Green candidate and is New Forest, and she's a professor in the University of Southampton, but she's a New Forest resident, and so she's coming from.
Wow.
But all of them, if they want to win over the whole of Hampshire and the Solent and the residents of all of Hampshire and the Solent,
This is massive.
yeah, it's a huge.
It's like the world's
campaign.
biggest job advert,
Yeah, it's a big old campaign.
Yeah,
but
wild.
they're more like mini presidents. Like if you were going to translate
I
it.
am obsessed.
Yeah,
Yes.
they have like a mini presidential kind of,
Obsessed, yes.
The mayors are, they're on TikTok, and there's a vibe, right, of a mayor, and they can. So I think they're all going to have to get a wiggle on and start getting out there and meeting people and communities, and
absolutely.
bringing the Isle of Wight and into that
Amplifying.
conversation, and Basingstoke and Deane, and how are they going to bring all those regions together? Because the mayor that represents the whole of Hampshire and Solent, I mean, my goodness, that's massive.
There will be some people who vote just based on the political aspect, won't they? Because they might not know them, so they think, oh, well, I'll just go for whoever.
And I think, there's a risk, by the time we get there, because we're going through local government reorganisation at the same time, people will be doing a lot of voting for probably things that are not necessarily sure of what they're now voting for.
Yeah.
So it will be a real party political thing, I'd imagine. I mean, even for the last turnout for Andy Burnham, it was only 26%. So not a lot of people necessarily turn out for these big elections. But whoever your mayor is a massive role. So I think that's partly why I am obsessed with it, because I feel like people really should know this is happening.
Absolutely.
And that it's really important that we get a real champion in place, and someone that can really go out and find out what your candidates are doing, regardless of party politics. Find out what they are as people, what drives them, what's are they going to be the best person for the region? Because you're right, people will just vote for politics, and obviously that could create a really unstable environment for residents and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're hard to get rid of, mayors. So once they're in for 4 years. They really are. It's really hard to recall a mayor. It's really hard to get rid of a mayor if you feel they're not operating. So it is really important you get the right candidate. But I think we're really lucky. Like you say, we know the candidates really well so far, and the four that we know,
I think they all pretty safe
bring
hands,
their own.
aren't
They all bring their own really great vibe, I think. Yeah.
So okay, knowing that you know them, let's just park that. What would you objectively say to any person who was going to be a mayor? What would be your key tip for them to win those hearts and minds?
So my key tip for anyone is I talk a lot around being a champion of place. I think people want to know that you believe in this region, that you love this region. And although that doesn't feel like the glossiest political kind of thing to say, I think they should be demonstrating why they know and love this region and why they will be that champion of place. I also think, and I know, that what they want to deliver as mayor will be driven by party politics to an extent. But for me, and if you talk to people that used to be mayors, and even the mayors now, the more established ones, you are meant to be able to go above party politics. And I think in the world we live in now, how cool is it to have someone that can kind of go, yes, that's politics, but I'm actually here for you guys and for the region. I think people need that. And I think the mayors have an ability to operate in a different sphere to just party politics. They're there to do something bigger and something greater, and they have the power to do so. So I would like to see a mayor be able to transcend politics.
I kind of love it. It's kind of it is the president.
It is, it is a presidential,
or the queen.
it is.
Queen.
Yeah,
it's a monarch, because you've got all the lords and then you've got the monarch, and
it's kind of, it's just a slightly different, and the reason I say sort of presidential is kind of in their campaigning, and you go to some of the big events and the mayors are really glossy, they're really, but we've got to not be, I think I did an article recently about it, and I was try and see through kind of the gloss of what this role will be, and fundamentally you want them to be that champion of place, and that's what we have to really focus on.
I think at the moment everyone would benefit from having a much more moral and value-led decision-making process.
I think people need it.
So much stuff is really up in the air at the moment.
Yeah, and people are really disenfranchised by politics, and and I get that. I've worked with politicians for a long, long time. I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't want to be a politician. I think it's a really tough gig, and I think a lot of politicians go into it actually, I would say most politicians go into it with something that they are genuinely really passionate about. But I think the system brings you in so quickly and it's very consuming, and I think it's a really tough role once you're in, and I do feel for politicians, but all the parties have got to reflect on why people are feeling like that. And the decisions that are being taken is because people feel like that. So what are they going to do to build that trust again, and to build that what politics should be and what governance looks like and what, you know, your leadership looks like. So I think that's the nice thing about the mayors, is they've got an ability to redefine politics, which I think is quite exciting. But then I'm a total geek over this stuff, so people might be like, this is totally not interesting. I love it. It's so good.
I think it's super exciting, and it's like the world's best, biggest campaign job attitude. And I'm just really excited to see who does it.
Yeah, it'll be, and I mean, now they've been delayed. Like, we've got a little bit longer to kind of see.
It's like the suspense is killing me.
Yeah, it'll be great. I'm so excited.
There's loads of local champions, though, aren't there? I think specifically in Gosport and Portsmouth, like, I have done a lot of work with Southampton as well, and there are some amazing, like Business South is a great example of that. But champions locally, that we need them, don't we?
100%, yeah. And I think we're so blessed as a region to have some like incredible individuals that champion the region, that are, you know, like for example, Jane Lemaire, you know, you and I have both worked with Jane. She is someone that embodies kind of, she's out there, she knows the region, she has a passion for the region, she has a passion for her place. She also is just freaking fabulous. Like,
she's brilliant.
I just love her to death.
Yeah, same.
And she's someone that, you know, she is that. But there's so many. I mean, I don't know if I would say Jane. I think Jane is my top,
I have like a girl crush on Jane.
Yeah,
especially her. Obviously, I do personal branding and marketing stuff, but I'm obsessed with her LinkedIn.
Oh, okay. I was going to say her shoes.
Oh, well,
yeah,
actually, her shoes too.
LinkedIn
the shoes
great.
is a long time thing. Actually, Jane, can we please make a request that we have your LinkedIn posts or your shoes daily?
Yeah,
Thank you.
or put your shoes in your LinkedIn post and do us all a favour.
Coffee and a shoe. Every
Give
day
the
people will be
people
like,
what they want.
Actually do coffee and a shoe.
Yeah, coffee and a shoe. Yeah, I think that would be such a good idea. Is that not a thing?
You're welcome. You can have that idea.
We're patenting that right now.
Coffee and a shoe.
I think, yeah, you get someone like Jane and she's just everything that what a great local champion kind of is for me. But we're blessed across the region to have kind of loads
because
of
I think
those.
Satvir Khan is really good as well. Southampton,
brilliant.
really good.
Yeah.
I also love, so TEDx we ran last year in Gosport, and we had Duke Harrison Hunter.
Yeah.
And he's on this like massive sale thing of all the hundreds of faces of Portsmouth.
Yeah. Like you've got the stuff that Basingstoke and Dean, you know, Sarah Longthorpe who works for Basingstoke and Dean, I think she's absolutely phenomenal, like what she's looking to do. And then you speak to someone like Fiona Gray over at Wellborn. Like,
I love
Wellborn.
Oh my God, second girl crush.
Oh, I love that woman.
I spent so much time with her in Mipham, and she is phenomenal.
I love her. Yeah, so she's another fantastic. So there's so many that you think actually that as a region, like, wow, what an ability to kind of shape
doing good
this
stuff.
Region. Yeah.
Because I'd say like Shirley Wynne.
Yeah, Shirley Wynne Jones is epic. Yeah, I mean,
all
we've
the
got
events she's doing and just showcasing all the like the hoteliers and
and you've got like Lucy Richmond, CPS, and everything she does in her world, and you know, you're a local business.
And you.
Yeah, I mean,
we're just having a love fest here. We're like, who else do we love? Well,
who actually is great?
Who else is great? This is not sponsored by anyone, just so you know.
And it's interesting, I went to a round table meal with Business South, who organised some cracking events in the region, and they did one with the leader of Hampshire, and he was another, you know, take politics out, it doesn't matter what political party, there was a Wholesome and Councillor Pitt over in Portsmouth, and you've got, you know, I think there's just some absolutely fantastic politicians and people
about this region. Or is this happening everywhere? But we just think it's happening here.
I imagine everyone's got champions of their region that they absolutely love, and obviously we are biased in the fact that we love this region.
Well, we're obsessed with this region and its people.
Yeah, and its people. I mean, hey, you and I have both picked this place as somewhere that we love, and I think there is something special about this place, and I don't know what it is. I think it's everything.
Do you know what it is for me? As a small business owner, there's something about movement. There's movement here, and it was kind of what happened when I moved to Canada briefly. You felt free, like you could make change and you could make impact.
Did you know I lived in Canada as well?
Did you?
How spooky is that?
Where did you live?
Winnipeg. Well,
did you?
Actually, outside of Winnipeg. Yeah, my parents bought a farm. I think it was a midlife crisis, but it's great.
Oh, I love Canada.
Yeah, we were outside of Winnipeg in a village called Minnesota.
What is it that we both loved or hated about Canada which made us absolutely love here? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, that's the link. Let's go with that.
It's nothing to do with this
Yeah,
place.
nothing to do with this place. It's something to do with Canada that we couldn't find in Canada, so we've come here.
It's everything we wanted Canada to
Yeah,
be.
everything, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, Central South,
Yeah.
mini Canada.
Who knows?
Oh my God, you crack me up. What even was my question? Well,
You said as a small business owner.
Oh, right. As a small business owner, yes. So, lol, mini Canada. But yeah, as a small business owner, I do think there's this feeling of being able to do things, to change things,
Yeah.
to, community grants and collaboration and all of those things.
Nice.
But that, I think, also applies in the bigger businesses too.
Yeah. I think, we are I think we are now the largest engineering firm in the whole of the UK. But our Southampton office is incredibly invested in the region and feels a part of this region. And yes, we are obviously part of a big organisation, but all our offices that are based, you can feel very, embedded in your region. And we work with a lot of partners, all the big consultancies. There's such a presence down here, and there is a reason for that. There's a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of things that people feel very invested in, and there's a real local local vibe, which is great. That's what it's about, right?
That's what we're supposed to do, isn't
Yeah,
it?
absolutely.
I think the more collaborative you can be, the better things move. What is it like? I like the saying, you can go faster alone, but you can go further with others.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've got a lot of great people. Those great people we've been talking about, they glue a lot. And although they might be gluing slightly different parts together and slightly different, look at our maritime sector, right? That's a really sort of cohesive delivery, economic growth driving thing, and they've got a real collective approach. And I think all the people in the region, they bring us all together, they get us all talking, and I think that's a really powerful thing as well.
I love that.
Hopefully our mayor will tap into that
I love that.
We're all going to talk to the mayor, God help them.
We are the longest list, like
the
Santa,
longest queue of
Santa and the
people.
longer list.
Hello.
Hey,
Yeah.
dear
We
mayor.
would like this. Yeah, I do feel for them, Matt.
Oh, bless.
Yeah, they'll be welcoming, knocking down
But
the door.
also will be supported. They will be
100%.
super supported.
Yeah, what a lucky mayor to come in with all this. We are so ready to do the stuff that the region and businesses and everyone's kind of championing this region and what it can do and how much we could do for our residents. That's epic to come in as a mayor for that, surely.
I'm obsessed. I think we're super both pro about all of these changes, and I, of course, can't wait. I'll be at first in the line,
Yes.
dear mayor.
Yeah, well, surely you're doing something around brand.
Well, I will be. Watch this space. Dear mayors.
Brand, dear mayors.
Dear mayors.
Smile for.
So, what would you say as your final takeaway from today, in the chaos it is now, because it is chaos now, and it will probably continue to be a bit chaos, what advice would you give to business, owner, employee or individual, or all of those things? What would you say?
So I think I would say to businesses, go out and learn about this stuff. Go out and find about LGR, go out and find about devolution. Obviously, I'm readily available to help you learn about all this stuff.
Ta-da!
But go and find out. The information is out there. Because I think businesses can be the only constant at the moment. Be kind to the local authorities. They're going through an enormous amount of change. It's this hugely structural change for them, alongside having to sort of do the noise of a mayor. And I think just, if anyone else was going through that, we'd be really understanding. But for some reason, because it's a local authority, people just expect them to just weather every storm. So be kind to local authorities, understand what they're going through, and be the constant, right? So we are, as businesses, as private sector, the big companies, the smaller companies, we're the things that will just keep this ticking over and keep this going. And I think that's a really important thing. And then my personal takeaway is that I want to top that colour because I'm in love with this pink vibe.
Wow.
So that's my personal takeaway from today. And probably this many plants in my house.
I've got 28 plants, and this top was given to me by Shirley
Gifted.
Wynne Jones.
Was it?
Yes.
Oh,
She took it to MIPIM the year before last, and I was like, I am obsessed with that top. And then afterwards, I went away and totally forgot about it. And then this year, she brought it as a gift for me.
That's why she made it onto our lush list, right?
Well, she is. Well,
lush
tops
list.
And great event planning.
Yeah. Oh, God, that woman. Yeah, I love it. So that would be my takeaway from is just be the constant, go and learn about it and have some empathy.
And arguably, like, just calm down. Like, let's just breathe. Let's try and get through it. Like, it's all confusing for everybody.
And it's going to be
a little bit more grace, and a little bit more kindness. At the moment, it's great. I think across the board it's needed.
Yeah, and it's going to be a positive thing.
Yeah.
But like every big change, we just got to go through some stuff
Disruption
before we get there.
Reward later.
But this is something to look forward to. It's something to get excited about. It's something to kind of be involved with. And it's going to be a bit fresh. But I mean, it's just big change. Is what life throws at you. But it is so exciting. So go and be the constant. Have empathy. Understand it. That would be my takeaway.
Oh, darling, thanks for joining me on the sofa today.
That's lovely.
Do you know how many complaints we're going to get off the back of this? You didn't mention me on your love list. That's what's going to happen. Awkward.
You know who you are,
you
gang.
all know.
You know if you're on the love list.
All of them.
I
everyone.
promise.
Well, thank you for joining me, darling.
That's a pleasure, my love. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.